After the two of them returned from Japan, Shogun and Connors went to First Team's common room. Connors deactivated Reggie's alarm systems and instructed the bot that Shogun was always allowed in. "I'll leave you to see your daughter," Connors said as he left the room. She stood in front of her father and hugged him around the waist. Shogun hugged her back around her upper back. "Did you learn anything in today's class?" Shogun asked she. "Of course. Some of the concepts you taught me before, but we've never had others to drill with. That was the part that really drove it home. I'm glad you liked it." Shogun entered Shi's bedroom with her. "You were right. Your room is amazing. Your teammates did this in a day?" "Virtuoso does the decorating and Midas does the work. My room by itself only took them a few minutes. They did the whole building in half a day. They were doing the dorms on the other side of the campus this afternoon at about twice the speed. This is impressive. What is the boy's upper limit?" "I don't know. I heard the rumor that he was able to make 100 million tons or something outrageous like that. I don't know if it's true or not." "You have enough muscle on your team. Maybe Connors picked him for his ability to do other things," Shogun said. "Maybe. Let me show you the upstairs." "Your room has an upstairs?" "It's wonderful," she said as she led her father to the rest of her room. "You're too spoiled here." "I'm getting beat up every day. How can you say that to me?" she said. "When we got beat up, we went back to rotten rooms. You have a palace." After combat training, the sore alphas came back to their rooms and received healing from Bioforce. It was dark outside, and the team just wanted to get sleep for tomorrow. Going home for Sunday was a big deal and something to look forward to. Connors came into their dorm room while all the first team was sitting around and watching TV. On the big flat screen was the fight that the hitters had with Shogun earlier in the day. "Where did you get that?" Connors asked. "My red shirt assignment was working in the dugout. I asked Lucy for a copy," Midas said. "I thought your assignment was working the check-in at the hotel." "Did you set me up with that?" "I had input." "Well, it was boring. After that, I went to help Jack in the dugout." "How did you do in there?" "I qualified on every system," Midas said. "With a little help." He thought out loud for Virtuoso to hear. "I'll remember that." Connor stopped to look at the action on the screen. "How long will it take me to fight like him?" Olympian asked. "You have different powers. You'll never fight just like him. If you keep up your level of effort, by the time you graduate, you should be getting close." "What brings you here tonight?" Darkspeed asked. "I just wanted to let you know your opponent for Monday's match is 4th Team," Connor said. "We should be able to beat them," Olympian said. "Remember the upsets this week. 2nd Team beat us, 4th Team won, and 8th Team red benched everyone on 7th Team," she said. "That's because Saber's been training with us. He and Greco carried that team," Bioforce said. "Well, that's all. I'll let you get back to your show," Connor said. "Coach, do you mind if I ask you a question?" Olympian said. "No, go ahead." "The hitters we have here. My brother Achilles is stronger than most and tougher than any of them. He's also as smart as some of our brains. Why wasn't he invited to Alpha?" All team members looked to Connors for an answer. "I considered your brother for leader of the Los Angeles team, but then decided against it and recommended him for one of the Beta Academies." Olympian and the others were shocked as Olympian asked, "Why would you do that? He's the most responsible person I know, the best superhero." "What I tell you now never leaves this room. Understand?" "We understand," Darkspeed spoke for the team. "I checked each of you out thoroughly. Making the decision on who receives this kind of training is a big thing." Connors paused, trying to formulate an easy way to say something. He eventually decided to just be blunt. "Each of you were thoroughly mind-scanned before you came here. I had someone check you out and get a full profile on you before you ever were invited to Alpha." Olympian thought about his brother again. "What was wrong with Achilles? Why didn't you take him?" "Alphas go where they're needed. He didn't want to leave Greece, let alone Europe. I recommended him to a coach that I knew eventually would get him the lead on the Athens team. Rather him a beta there than an alpha that would leave the ranks." "You're wrong about my brother." "No, I wasn't. He wanted to stay close to home." "You didn't scan my mind. I would have known it," Darkspeed said. "We did. It just took a more subtle touch than Jilly. Don't let this news ruin your night. Each of you checked out as a good candidate to be grown into a superhero." Connors headed for the door. "I'll see you all Monday, early." First Team went back to their show. Olympian was upset about anyone talking about his family. Darkspeed felt violated. Virtuoso didn't understand how someone could do that to her undetected. The other three just seemed to accept it as part of the process. It took half an hour of silence for the whole team to start enjoying their night again.